We're live on the Facebooks. Hello, everybody. Greetings, everybody. It is a little bit after 9 o'clock on the East Coast. We are live on WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, and you are listening to the debut episode of Then...
I was so tiny back there, I had to come in. All right.
Then, Now, Whenever. With myself, Sean Michael, also co-host of The Shows We Watch, which was on the air just before this. Sitting beside me is my new co-host, future brother-in-law, and new partner in crime.
I'm actually going to angle, because I feel like I'm going to be doing this a lot more than doing this.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But his name is Jesse Mack. Jesse, for the purposes of what we're doing, do you prefer Jesse Mack or J Mack or Shark Uppercut? You know, which is it?
In my heart, it's always Shark Uppercut, but no, Jesse Mack. I'm going to do this in my Who-Men persona. If we're talking about me doing music, J Mack. Otherwise, Jesse Mack. If I'm in a rock band, I'm Jesse Maximum. But that's a whole different thing.
Well,
I'm very rarely actually in a rock band, so I don't have to worry about that too often.
Unless we're playing rock band.
Right.
Right. Okay. So anyway, here we go. So first of all, let's tell you guys a little bit about the show. The name itself, Then, Now, Whenever, is obviously a takeoff, if you're a pro wrestling fan, of WWE's slogan, Then, Now, Forever. And if you don't mind, I'll explain that quickly.
Oh, please do.
So basically, what we thought of, Jesse and I are both big pro wrestling fans. But in different ways. You are hugely into. I mean, you watch, the WWE programming and New Japan, things like that. But you are also very much into, as I was saying, New Japan and the independent wrestlers. And while I have some experience working with some great independent wrestlers as a ring announcer, you are a regular attender of shows. I mean, currently.
Yes.
So what
when I can, yeah.
And because we jumped into our show a little bit late, a few minutes late, I want to take some time, next week, and kind of get into the personal connection here. But what is it about pro wrestling that like when did you start really getting into it?
Funny thing, I remember liking it as a kid, at least enough that I made my dad order WrestleMania 7. Like that's the only strong memory I have of it as a child. But
You're lucky. My dad never would have done that.
Yeah. He was kind enough to do that for me. I don't know if I begged. Anyway, I'm getting stuck on my topic. I got to move on. But yeah, in high school, one of my friends discovered ECW. I mean, we're in the Lehigh Valley, so one of the local Philadelphia stations.
And I'm sorry for our listeners on WLVU and for our viewers on Facebook. Give a timeline as to when that was.
That was 1995 or 1996.
Okay, so
yes.
Go ahead.
And it was a whole different kind of wrestling than I had known could exist. It was edgy. It was fun. It was cool. Power bombs were a thing. I didn't know power bombs were a thing. And so my love for wrestling grew, and then a bunch of the guys from ECW went to WWF and WCW, so I started watching my favorite guys in those shows, and then happened to see the Royal Rumble in the year 2000. That was pretty much my big breaking in moment. Because
in the year 2000!
Yes, timely reference, good job. No. But yeah, I was amazed because not only it felt like it was made for me because almost every match had somebody from old ECW.
Yeah.
Taz debuted, the Hardy Boys, not the Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys weren't there, but they fought the Dudleys.
Yep.
So it's okay, the Dudleys were there. Cactus Jack was in the
Wait,
main
and
event.
you were there?
No.
Oh.
Just watched it on
Okay.
pay-per-view. But not only was it that these guys were in the show, but also it didn't feel watered down. It felt like, oh my god, these guys are doing the same quality of work that I'm used to in ECW.
Right.
And also it had this intrigue. You've seen that the match at the end, not the main event. The main event's the Royal Rumble, but that Cactus Jack Triple H street fight,
of course,
is one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah. And
it hooked me. And then from that point on, and Kurt Angle, I loved Kurt Angle. Yeah.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Oh no!
Wasn't it the following month when they had the Hell in a Cell?
Yes, and you were.
I was at that event in Hartford, Connecticut. We road tripped impromptu with my friend Renee and Jim at the time, and it was my first. Believe it or not, that was my first live pro wrestling event.
You picked a good one.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to SummerSlam, I was actually ordering the pay-per-views, and like, I got to a point where pro wrestling not was my life, but like, I was obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And that never really went away. So.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, without spending too much getting into it, I don't remember exactly what got me started with it, but I remember watching it as a kid with my friend John, and his parents would order them, and then when I moved out on my own, I used to watch it, and I mean, all years later, so we still get together with friends and watch the WWE pay-per-views and the NXT ones, and I would get back into ring announcing, in a heartbeat if I had a promotion locally that could work around the schedule that I have or whatever.
Yeah,
I miss it, but and then you and I met through Kathy,
right? Of course. And my sister.
Yeah, your sister, and we had a lot in common, and I just thought, you have a lot of your personality. I really resonates with me, and I appreciate, and we're both geeks in our own right, and we both have a love of wrestling, and so I thought, let's do a show together, and so I'm really happy to be here with you.
Yes.
So
that should be fun.
So now it's going to be nerd time. So anyway, again, for those just tuning in for the first time, you are listening live to the debut / kind of piloty episode of Then, Now, Whenever, or we can call it TNW, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But we will be talking about, and that's what I was going to say in the beginning.
Yeah.
So WWE is Then, Now, Forever. And when we thought about pro wrestling, one of the things that we discovered in our conversation is when you look at pro wrestling and you go back in time, and I know I'm gonna have them out of order chronologically, or whatever, but I mean we had our your pre Hogan era, with San Martino and all that.
Uh-huh.
Then you had your Hogan era. Then you had what was
New Generation.
New Generation,
Yeah.
and then
that went into Attitude.
Right, then Attitude, yeah, and then you had the Invasion,
Right.
And so there's these eras, but then you end up hitting. You end up hitting kind of a wall around. We realized around July of 2002 when John Cena debuted with Kurt Angle, and then you really they might they had the Ruthless Aggression name for that, but really the last 15, 16 years has been sort of a big blur. It's just the giant the John Cena era,
Yeah.
and so much of it, there's been a lot of good, but there's also been a lot of crap.
Yeah, and both things are worth talking about.
Exactly.
Both things are fun to talk about and think about and to remember.
And so what we're going to do is, for our show, we wanted to add, I mean, it's pro wrestling, we wanted to add a gimmick to our show.
Yes.
So after this week's show, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to take a trip back, by the way. Jesse and I discussed what we're going to do for our first show, and I decided that I was going to pick a random pay-per-view, right? Basically by just...
Random.
It was essentially I scrolled through a list of pay-per-views,
Yeah.
put my finger on the screen, and was like, that is not one I'd like to do, but this one I will, right above it. So we're going to talk tonight. I'm going to take Jesse back down memory lane because I actually took the time to rewatch Backlash from 2003.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting, some of the things that came out of this.
Okay.
But going forward, for those watching us on Facebook Live, facebook.com/then-now-whenever, we have a glorious wheel. We need to name the wheel, or have our viewers name this wheel. Either give it a singular first name, or the wheel of whatever kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Just the wheel of whatever.
How about the wheel of
you've
whenever?
Already named it. Yeah.
The wheel of whenever.
Wheel of whenever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, on this wheel are some catchy, fun little clue names, and we will spin this. Are we doing this at the end of the episode? And then you kind of tune in and figure out what that is at the beginning.
We could do it that way.
Yeah. Okay. We'll figure it out.
That way we get to spin the wheel tonight, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, the wheel of pain. Mindy suggests. Okay, so on this wheel, so going forward, we have the Nexus. It's pretty self-explanatory.
Maybe.
Showcase of the Immortals. Gimmuck. Then we have Best in the World, runner-up, The Gold Standard. Not about Shelton Benjamin necessarily.
Not necessarily.
3 Count. Not what you think it is. For those of you that are pro wrestling fans,
it's a little too early for that. That is not in our timeline.
Thomas says, "Call it Wheelie Wheelie Clicky Face." Oh my gosh, I'm interested in that. Then we have, hey, remember that thing?
Yeah.
Then we have In Your House.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about
That's
In Your House.
Again, when you look at the space that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Some of these don't even apply.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Anyway, so at the end of the show, we're going to spin Wheelie Wheelie Clicky Face,
Okay.
which I kind of like, and we will figure out next week's topic to discuss.
If you are not watching but just listening, that was the sound of a wheel spinning, which I always like the sound of that. And if you are watching, at least on the Facebook Live video, everything is mirrored, so you can read any of this, but I'll fix that in post.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if I turn it backwards like that.
There you go. We fixed it.
Okay.
We fixed it.
Great.
Visual jokes.
Visual jokes.
Visual jokes are great.
So this week,
Okay.
I'm gonna blow your mind here with information.
Oh, right.
I spent more time analyzing this pay-per-view than one should.
I can imagine.
And once you see where I'm going with this, I just want to mention, once you see where I'm going with this, you'll sense sort of a pattern as to my overall feelings for the quality of this show.
Okay, I have one important question before we start, and I think I know the answer, but I have to ask it.
Yes, I really did sing All-Star live on WLVU tonight.
Oh, no, I was standing right there. I almost, if you had sung if you had kept going, I would have come in.
Oh, boy.
But,
Question, go.
yes, did they have the giant hooks as the set?
Yes.
Of course they did.
Okay.
Why don't they still do that?
I don't know.
It's such a simple thing, but I loved it.
A quick side note, and then I want to get into this because we've introed about 20 minutes of the show. But anyway,
Oh, we thought maybe we'd have trouble filling the time.
Yeah, right.
Hilarious.
All right, here we go. Kathy and I were watching something with Jackson, Kathy's son, who's 7 and loves pro wrestling, and we were watching something on the WWE Vault. Like somebody was actually getting a personal tour with a small group through there, and they let him video. Anyway, it wasn't a produced video.
Okay.
It was a phone video.
Yeah.
But they had the Backlash sign. They have everything.
Oh yeah.
And they had the hooks there, and they were talking about them, and so it'd be interesting for you to see that.
Yeah.
All right, jumping right into this, and as I read through this, I would if some of this does jog your memory, which I think it will.
Oh yeah.
As we go, I definitely will break in between the matches, and I want to hear your thoughts and whatever.
If we don't care about what I have to say, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, let's go.
Thank you guys. By the way, everyone's tuning in tonight on WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, and for those watching on Facebook, through our Facebook page, facebook.com/thenNowWhenever. If you'd like to listen on WLVU, in the future, you can go to www.lehighvalleyunderground.com/WLVU and listen to Lehigh Valley Underground Radio. Backlash 2003 took place April 27th. 2003.
Okay.
It was the 5th annual installment of Backlash, the pay-per-view. Thing I found interesting is both in 2003 and 2002. I didn't look at the other years, like before and after.
Okay.
Chicago has become sort of the mecca for WWE when it comes to Monday Night Raw and everything. The arena is just so loud, and they get it crazy. So like Chicago is the place to be. They had no pay-per-views in Chicago within that 2-year span.
Wow. Okay.
It was interesting.
Yes. Side note, has nothing to do with anything we're talking about. Chikara, one of the local pro wrestling groups.
Yes.
I can't think of words sometimes. Promotions. That does have a worldwide reach. They are very... Chicago is a hot crowd for them as well. Yeah. Like, just super...
Not surprising.
Yeah.
So I have a ton of information on this, and I'm going to try and fit everything in here, but here we go.
Okay.
First of all, you know what? Remember earlier I said, based on a lot of how I explain things from this pay-per-view, you will get a sense about my overall feelings on the quality of the pay-per-view.
Okay. Let me take a moment to try to think back to what 2003 was. I'm not going to dwell on it too much because
I can see the back of my papers.
My brain barely clicks. I'm not looking.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, like, we are far enough post-invasion that it's not just, like, the Jindrax and O'Hares of the world. But I saw words on the screen, and I got distracted. Just go.
Okay. Well, let me tip you off.
Yes. Is La Resistance there?
Let me tell you what Sunday Night
Are the
Heat was.
Un-Americans there?
Back then, we had Sunday Night Heat.
Yes.
And Sunday Night Heat was a show that came on, like WWE now has what they call their kickoff, their pre-show.
Yes.
And they stream it online. Well, back then we had Sunday Night Heat that was on the USA Network. Okay. Let me tell you about the Sunday Night Heat match.
Okay.
Okay. Your pre-show match was Scott Steiner defeating Rico on TNN.
Scott Steiner didn't even make the pay-per-view.
Here we go.
Let me ask you this.
Okay, I don't want to give too much away.
Okay. Was this following the... oh, no, that was the Rumble. Never mind. Because I know that Scott Steiner, when he was back, had some of the worst matches with Triple H that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I remember the pose downs on Raw.
Oh, my God. 2003 WrestleMania was the one with Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle. That was a good match. And then the Steiner Triple H match was terrible. Okay, I'm sorry. My brain is... I'm filling in the gaps.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's all coming together.
I have given Jesse Mack a microphone. Now you see what's happening.
Yes.
So
This is why when I review comics, I just do it in one word or less.
Yeah,
because my brain can't contain words.
All right, here we go.
Spill out of my mouth.
So on the main card, several matches,
Yes.
and we're gonna go through each one. And
Yes.
while I usually on this show, or I should say on any show I do, I don't really just read off paper. It's much better for me to kind of, Flazio, my chair is stuck, and I'm trying to fix this. It's probably great for every.
Yeah, this when this is a podcast, this is gonna be the best minute. I'm not gonna edit.
Was Thomas is asking, was Scott Steiner's chest already atrophied at this point?
No.
I don't remember.
No.
But here we go.
That guy was gross.
On the main card, the first match was a tag team match. These are my notes from watching this pay-per-view. That was a tag team match for the tag team championships between Los Guerreros, Eddie and Chavo, to kick off, again, versus Team Angle, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. Eventually would be known as the world's greatest tag team.
Yeah.
By the way, it's worth noting that Team Angle has a very classy portrait of Kurt Angle with them for inspiration, which you'd think would fall under the birthday cake rule.
Yes, where it's like Chekhov's gun, where if you introduce a framed picture, it is going to be smashed into somebody's head.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so moving along here, the match began with Team Angle, who gained the early advantage over Los Guerreros after they performed a leapfrog stun gun on Eddie. Benjamin and Haas prevented Eddie from tagging Chavo into the match for a period of time.
Classic hot tag.
Yep. Chavo was eventually tagged into the match, where he gained the advantage over Haas. Okay. While Chavo was the legal wrestler in the match, Eddie illegally entered the ring, executed a frog splash on Haas, only for an unsuccessful pin attempt by Chavo.
Okay.
However, after the pin attempt, Eddie and Benjamin fought onto the ringside, where Benjamin tripped Chavo, who was in the ring about to perform a suplex on Haas.
Okay.
Benjamin held Chavo's leg, allowing Haas to pin Chavo to retain the title. In true Guerrero fashion, there was a little cheating by the Guerreros at one point. And, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There was a little cheating by the Guerreros at one point, which keeps Shelton in the Latino corner.
Yes.
Okay. The ref distraction, of course, allows Chavo to choke him out with the tag rope. Good man, a good move by them.
Yeah.
Although Cole somehow decides to justify this with turnabout is fair play, which is not only trite but factually incorrect.
Yeah.
Since Team Angle hadn't cheated yet.
Right. If anything, their turnabout was fair play.
Right.
Yeah.
So however, there was another moment where Team Angle did switch off without a tag, because sure, it would be easy for the ref to mix them up. By the way, for those who don't know, Charlie Haas is white, and Shelton Benjamin is very, very...
He's bald, yes.
Bald.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's an African American.
Yes.
So how they got away with that? Now how'd that happen? You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to do the clap so that it
Exactly.
sounds like there was a tag.
Yes.
If you don't do that, then the ref should throw it anyway.
Following the pinfall, Chavo dives onto the celebrating champs, but somehow the picture of Kurt survives. And of course,
I'm sure it met its fate sometime down the line because you can't introduce that without doing something with it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Nowhere during the pay-per-view where you think it's going to happen, it didn't happen. But anyway, the picture survives, and of course, in Guerrero fashion with their gimmick, the Guerreros steal the titles to add another cliche to this mess.
Oh yes.
So match wasn't terrible, but it was like it wasn't any different than anything you would have seen on SmackDown.
Right.
So
I feel like the worst match that you're going to get from World's Greatest Tag Team or Team Angle versus Los Guerreros is still a really enjoyable match to watch. Even if it is cookie cutter, even if your good guys are cheating, it's the Guerreros. And that's kind of their whole deal.
Yes, and by the way, it's worth mentioning, this pay-per-view was a joint promotion between Raw and SmackDown brands.
So we are post-split.
We are post-split, which 2003 is when the split happens.
Yes, because that's the thing. I had my brain in La Resistance, Un-Americans, Jindrak O'Hare kind of mode. We are getting into SmackDown 6 territory, where SmackDown was just a powerhouse of wrestling. I am ready. I'm excited about this.
Okay, so far you like where we're going?
Yeah.
All right, great. We are now cutting backstage to Test forcing himself on Tori because in 2003 this was acceptable apparently.
And you lost me. I forgot Test was still alive.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Andrew Martin, who of course unfortunately passed away.
Yes.
And
he was kind of a d-bag, but let's be fair. I'm sure somebody loved him.
Second match of the night.
Yes.
Second match of the night.
Okay.
If you thought we were off to a hot start, I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh man.
Here we go.
Yes.
All right. By the way, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the pilot/debut episode. We're kind of, we're still going with our training wheels here. We're going to figure out how we're going to run this show going forward, especially. We're going to get wheelie clicky face.
Perhaps.
No. What do we want to call this? Do we want to call this the wheel of whatever?
Robert Van Wheel.
Robert Van Wheel.
I think the Wheel of Whenever is definitely a thing.
How about we go old school?
Okay.
Wrestler.
Yes.
And go with Clicky Von Wheel.
Okay.
Wheeler.
Clicky Von Wheeler.
Clicky Von Wheeler.
It has come together.
We have Clicky Von Wheeler if you listen. And at the end of each episode, we will choose the following week's topic using Clicky Von Wheeler.
We didn't need a prize wheel, but we wanted to hear it click.
So we bought a prize wheel.
a prize wheel and found a. I don't think this show exists for any reason other than that, so we have an excuse to spin a wheel.
That's right.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm going to thank everybody for tuning in.
Keep enjoying it. We love having you here.
Yes, and of course, we'd love to hear your feedback. If you're listening through Lehigh Valley Underground Radio and you'd like to be a part of this, certainly go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/thenNowWhenever. Give us your comments, give us your feedback. Let us know what you would like to hear us discuss. Anything from July 2002 forward.
Yes.
And you know what? It might end up on the wheel.
That's right.
On Clicky Von Wheeler.
Yes.
I love that name.
Okay.
All right. So. Let me see here. What is this? Your girl spins the wheel just for fun. She does that when I'm not around, apparently, because I did not know she had access to the wheel or was getting at the wheel. Clicky, stay away from my lady.
You gotta lock that in the WWE vault.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. The second match. So of course, we open with Sunday Night Heat.
Yes.
Scott Steiner
Yep.
defeating Rico in pretty much a squash.
Yeah.
By the way, for those just tuning in, we are talking about Backlash 2003.
Yes. And for those who don't usually watch wrestling, Scott Steiner is a big old muscle boy, and Rico was a hairdresser.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay, so we had that. Then we had the tag team championship match with the Los Guerreros versus Team Angle, and then of course we cut to Test in backstage area forcing himself upon Tori Wilson because in 2003 that was okay.
Yes.
I guess.
There
Second
was a
match.
company called TNA, and people just were like, "Cool, sure,
Yeah.
that's fine."
Second match of the night was Sean O'Hare
No hair.
with Roddy Piper
Oh.
in his corner versus Rikishi.
Okay.
Because apparently that was the story.
Why not?
Okay, so
I have a lot to say about this, but if you want to go through the match first.
Yeah, I tell you what I want to do, just for time purposes, let's do that, and then after that,
Yes.
we'll try and go through the rest of the show, and then we can backtrack a bit.
Okay.
Does that work?
I would like a little bit of back and forth. I feel
Oh,
like if
absolutely.
you just read these papers,
Oh, that's gonna be
it's
lame.
gonna be too dry.
That's gonna be super lame.
I just my main thing is that I feel like history does not think fondly on Sean O'Hare as Roddy
loved
Piper's protege.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh, I'd like
felt-
to hear more about that.
I felt like O'Hare could have been a big thing, and then just suddenly wasn't, and then the guy sadly died,
yeah.
and that made me very sad.
Yeah, well, you know what? Too, it's funny. I thought on a quick sidebar nation thing here.
Yes.
I thought the same about a bit of excitement that you felt there.
Yeah.
For the idea of not the execution necessarily, but
Yes.
the idea of Bob Backlund with Darren Young.
Oh yeah, I felt like that was a winning idea that bore no fruit whatsoever.
No,
it was
that
sad.
sucks.
Yes,
But
welcome to wrestling.
I know, and that's what this show is going to be about basically. So we'll have a good time with this. Okay.
Yes.
So second match.
Yes.
Sean O'Hare with Roddy Piper versus Rikishi.
Yes.
As the match goes, O'Hare gained the early advantage. Clothesline Rikishi. Rikishi was able to retaliate with a sting face attempt. For those who don't know, Jesse, please tell them what the stink face is.
Rikishi is a 300-pound plus man. He wears a thonged underpants, and he would put his giant butt in your face and wiggle it around. Stink face.
Because why not?
Yeah. That's 2000 attitude for you.
Yep. Skip ahead through this match a little bit, and Piper comes in loaded for bear with a coconut because apparently they all look the same.
That's painful.
He is a Samoan.
Yes.
And in wrestling history,
Yes.
Roddy Piper once smashed a coconut on Jimmy Superfly Snuka's head.
Yes.
He thought I guess they were the same.
Well,
So-
either that or just like this guy has
That's
a
his
hard
thing.
head. Coconut's the only thing that's going to hurt him.
So he comes in loaded for bear with a
Smart
coconut, as Rikishi and O'Hare are in the midst of kicking each other into unconsciousness
Yes.
for reasons no one knows.
Yeah.
But apparently that's what this match needed, someone must have thought. This match definitely needed a spot where both guys are out cold. This match.
Yeah.
Um,
It's too exciting otherwise.
right.
How would you get through?
Yeah. Well, Piper must have missed his cue because he then comes in again with the coconut. And Rikishi, but Rikishi instead breaks it over Piper's head. The distraction, of course, causes Sean O'Hare to perform the prophecy, which is a spine buster,
Yeah.
on Rikishi for a pinfall. Side note,
Yes.
if I could go back in time, I would have tried to get a message to O'Hare that, hey, remember when you were in WCW? Well, Jeff Hardy is away making music, air quotes, right now, and the Swanton, it's pretty available right now, which is what he used to use as a finisher in
Yeah,
WCW,
and
and it was great. Well, we ultimately see that Piper, in a moment of unbelievable physics,
Yeah.
was busted open by either the world's most abrasive coconut or other methods of getting cut open.
Kayfabe, bro.
Yeah. So, you wanted to throw something in on that?
Yeah, just I'm trying to remember exactly what the catchphrase was, but Sean O'Hare's sort of devil on your shoulder. You know, I believe it was, but I'm not telling you anything you didn't already know, or something of that ilk, where he was recognizing the evil in man and giving voice to it. I thought, like, that is a good place to come for a heel, for a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then he was just another dude.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it works. And then it's like, oh no, he needs help. Here comes Roddy Piper, who is a real good talker, kind of fits into that same likable but sort of nebulously evil role. It seems like a good fit. Somehow didn't go anywhere. And then the guy sadly died.
And then he died.
Yeah. Fun thing, my old friend Greg, who used to watch wrestling with back in the day, who hopefully we can have as a co-host on the show on
Sure.
occasion as
Oh,
well. The open invitation.
Mhm.
That guy's my boy. He used to keep Jindrak and O'Hare in WCW. He used to remember which one was which, because O'Hare was the one with hair. And he always thought that he should be Sean No Hair. And it always bothered him that he was the one who had hair and then Jindrak had, like, the buzz cut.
Yeah.
Yes. Completely pointless.
No, but it's fun.
Taking you to Tangent City.
That's what we do.
Yes.
By the way, we're gonna have to figure out something. We'll work together. We'll have to figure out a fun game that we can play because I feel like games are always fun on shows.
Oh yeah, I feel like segments. If you can put it into segments, it makes it like snap through faster. We are like already more than halfway through the show.
That's our the show's blown by, man. I told you, it's easy.
I was afraid we wouldn't be able to fill the time, and oh boy.
Yeah. So we'll be good. So third match. Oh, by the way, before we get to the third match, we're gonna cut backstage. Backstage to Tori ratting out Test. Okay, so
good, it's a runner.
Yeah, so Tori is ratting out Test to Stacy because they were a thing on TV.
They were, that's right.
And you know what? Mm-hmm. Let's save some time here and get to the main point. Test is a lying scumbag. Sable's a conniving bitch. We're good?
Okay.
Third match.
Yeah. You're not saying anything I didn't already know.
Yeah, we're going to save some character development time.
Yeah.
And just, there it is. Yeah. All right. Third match of the night, Backlash 2003. By the way, again, you'll hear multiple plugs, but I want to let you guys know that you are listening to the debut episode of Then, Now, Whenever, where we talk all things pro wrestling post the John Cena debut, because it's all kind of a blur. And so it's like we're trying to figure out when or whenever things took place.
I was... The way that I sort of thought about it is in the comic books they sort of there's like a single issue where they're like, okay, this is the beginning of the Silver Age, this is the beginning of the Golden Age. I feel like John Cena debuting is the beginning of a modern age that still has not shaken loose because they have yet to establish anything that is John Cena-esque, and they keep just holding on to that money man.
Well, you know what? They'll never give up.
Oh God.
Yep. Okay.
Oh God, you did it.
Third match.
Yes.
Was for the World Tag Team Championships.
Okay, different from the WWE Tag Team Championships.
They were on
SmackDown.
Yes. Yes. The Raw had the World Tag Team Championships.
This was in the brand split where you had two sets of pretty much every title.
Yes.
Which was confusing and painful.
Yes.
Yes.
This match was between the Dudley Boys, Bubba Ray and Devon.
Yes.
Who are not really brothers. Who, if you don't know,
well, they were half brothers.
They were half brothers.
Yes. Mr. Dudley Got Around was the old ECW.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. And they were the reigning champions, and they were facing. Do you have a clue? Around that time?
I do not. I am trying to place who that would have been on Raw.
Yeah, this match is great. They fought the team of Kane and Rob Van Dam. And by the way, if that wasn't enough for you,
okay,
your special guest referee, because that's what this match needed, was Chief Morley, also known as Val Venus from the Attitude Era.
So you somehow picked a pay-per-view that was in that tiny slice of time where Chief Morley was a thing.
So here we go. Here's your match rundown.
Yes.
By the way, Val Venus, Chief Morley, his real name was Sean Morley, and Chief the gimmick for him in the Attitude Era was Val Venus, who was supposed to be a porn star.
Yes. He was very. I can't think of the. I'm so bad with words.
Hello, ladies.
The word that came to mind is libatious, but that is not the word.
No, it's not.
Libatious? I don't have the word.
So
it's okay. And then he was with Right to Censor.
Yep.
And was the good version of him, and he wore white pants. Yeah. And this is somehow a worse version of that character.
Awful.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing that I'm going to start with on this match.
Yes.
I don't know how they managed to take a feud with 10 different things going on at once.
Okay.
And make it so boring. But they did, because WWE finds a way sometimes.
I gotta tell you, that X Factor, it's gotta be Kane.
The match began with Kane and Van Dam in control of the match.
Yes.
After Kane performed a spinebuster on Bubba Ray, Devon gained the advantage after delivering a sidewalk slam on Van Dam.
Okay.
Later in the match, Kane regains control, which went into a choke slam attempt on Bubba Ray. Morley, however, gave the low blow, got a low blow, and hit Kane in the crotch. By the way, it was not the first time he tried that. Anyway, after Lance Storm attempted to interfere in the match on Kane and Van Dam's behalf, to no avail, he proceeded to get a 3D from the Dudley Boys, which was their finisher, a flapjack cutter combination, basically, for those who don't know.
It's a beautiful double team.
It is. They hit that on Chief Morley.
Yes.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
That knocks out the official.
Right.
Because apparently attacking an official in this match doesn't constitute as a disqualification.
Maybe because he attacked them first, heard about his fair play. We've established that
Oh,
earlier
no!
in the commentary.
Damn it! I can't believe you found a way to bring that back.
They have such logic. Like everything seems insane, but when you really sit down and think about it, everything makes perfect sense.
What did she say? I love RVD.
My wife Mindy loves RVD because he had a terrible theme in TNA, but that is too much of a sidebar for us to go on to.
Well, I will just tell you that I don't have my glasses on right now,
Yes.
and I'm not wearing contacts,
Uh-huh.
and I had a hard time seeing that, and I thought I said NVG, and then I thought, Mindy loves net video girls? Like, what is that?
I don't know that one. Okay.
Anyway, tonight's episode is brought to you by Pornhub.
Okay. I am not here to kink shame you. Let's talk more about the sweaty men.
Here we
doing
go.
the wrestle stuff.
All right, so the distraction by Morley and Storm allowed Kane to successfully deliver a choke slam, followed by a 5-star frog splash onto Bubba into a pinfall officiated by a new referee
Yes.
to retain the titles.
There you go.
Okay. After rewatching this match, I will tell you that it was not a well-booked match and seemed to have an unbelievably overbooked finish.
I do have an important question that I can't believe I didn't think of until now. Kane's still wearing a mask? Was this in the dying days of the Big Red Machine?
This was Mask.
Mask, yes. So
Yep.
before he turned evil and monstery.
I believe he turned evil and monstery after they were done teaming. If I remember correctly, that's when he took off the mask and then he chokeslammed RVD.
I couldn't remember who he did it to. That makes perfect sense. So we got him like right on the cusp of being interesting.
Yep.
But not quite there yet.
Moving on. By the way, in future episodes, we're going to be taking some music breaks, things like that. But I want to make sure we fit everything in tonight, and we'll have some music as the show goes out.
Yes. We could put in Rob Van Dam's TNA theme or Pain Farmers by Jeff Hardy because you mentioned him being away making music. I don't know if you've heard that song. It is the dirt worst, and I love it.
I think we're going to have that next week.
Okay.
Yeah, we will play that song. Please bring it.
I will.
All right. Let's go backstage. Because why not?
Okay.
Stacy confronts Tori Wilson in the locker
Oh,
room.
good. It's these guys again. I was hoping.
By the way, apparently, where Stacy's confronting Tori in the women's locker room, there seems to be a bunch of women back there that are not scheduled on the card, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Ivory's wearing a towel because even though she's not on the card and doing anything, she decided to shower because why not?
Sometimes you don't shower before you get to the party, and you just dip away, and then you just continue to just wear the towel instead of getting dressed before you come out.
That's it, man. That's it. So we've got a couple more matches here before we get to our main event.
All right.
Fourth match on
Yes.
the card, Women's Championship.
Okay. Nice.
Jazz was accompanied by Theodore Long,
Okay.
facing the reigning champion.
Who could have been the champion against Jazz? I don't know. Who was champ?
Trish Stratus.
Oh, okay. I forgot how late she went in. I felt like maybe she was on her way out by now, but no, she was around for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the thing, though. That's exactly what we're talking about with this show. Then, now, whenever, because it's all a blur.
It's when the Women's Royal Rumble happened, and they mentioned that Beth Phoenix and Natalya overlapped and they were a team. I had completely forgotten about that.
Yeah.
The idea that like they were in the same place at the same time and teamed together.
Yep.
You know, it was like Team Glam something, and it was
Something.
real nice. Yeah.
So, here we go.
It is all a mess.
Oh, it is.
Timeline in the brain. No way.
As part of the storyline in this match, it's worth mentioning that Trish Stratus came into the match with injured ribs and was
Okay.
advised not to wrestle by doctors, but was forced to wrestle by heel Raw GM
Yep.
Eric Bischoff.
Oh, that guy.
Both women wrestled back and forth match until Stratus gained the advantage over Jazz by performing Stratusfaction, which is a springboard bulldog on her.
Yes.
During the pin attempt, Teddy Random Task Long threw his shoe onto Trish Stratus' head.
Okay.
Honestly, who throws a shoe?
The great thing about that reference is it would have been almost timely then.
Yeah.
I feel like this was pre-Gold member.
Yep.
It still had some time.
Throwing the shoe caused the pin to be broken.
That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it didn't cause a DQ, I guess.
No. You know what? He used the shoe to make it a tag match. Play it.
Oh no.
And he broke up the.
It's not a triple
shoe,
threat, though.
The shoe broke up the pin.
Or, I mean, a 6-man tag.
Yeah.
The
The other shoe was the sixth man. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's how the other shoe drops.
Oh no.
the ending of the match
Twisted by my own petard.
saw Trish Stratus attempting to perform the springboard sunset flip on Jazz, only for Jazz to counter it by sitting on her while grabbing the middle ropes to win the title
Okay.
at 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
Hashtag give Divas a chance.
Yeah, how about it? Looking back, this was about as good as it was going to get for the women at the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame when you think about it, but it really makes what you saw at the Royal Rumble last month in 2018 even more special, since so many of the actual women's wrestlers, that deserved that spot back then, were able to get their well-deserved moment.
But that makes me sad, though, because Jazz was a fairly good worker, especially for that era, and Trish was coming into her own by then, and they still crapped it out. Like, that probably could have been like a decent, well-done 10, 15-minute match, but of course it wasn't. We had to make more room for Tori Wilson and Tess in the back.
I threw my paper down like I was done with it, but I forgot there's a little bit at the bottom. So I need.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys all, by the way, for tuning in tonight. WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, and on Facebook, facebook.com/then, now, whenever. Yeah. All right. I'm here. My name is Shawn Michael. I'm here with my co-host. What did we decide?
I'm Jesse Mack.
You're Jesse Mack.
Yes.
Jesse Mack.
Yeah. I have other fancy names, but I'm just going to be me.
Okay. You were going to say something before I go to the...
I was very, very happy about the 3 to 4 people who are watching. The number keeps changing, and I'm like, who's watching? And then be like, nah, and then coming back. I don't get it. Anyway.
That's all right.
This is not important.
So, what we've got here is 5th match on the card. By the way, you might not have realized that we're already at the 5th match, because there wasn't a whole lot of exciting stuff going on.
I got to know what happened backstage. Was there anything happening backstage between those 2 matches?
Oh. There's more backstage.
Okay. I was being facetious, but let's go.
The 5th match was the Big Show versus Rey Mysterio. This match is infamous.
Huh.
And you'll realize why in a little while. This is
it
that
what
match.
I think it is? Okay.
So,
oh no.
In 2003, WWE decided to book this match.
Yes.
The Big Show, who, for those who aren't very familiar with pro wrestling, Big Show is 7 foot...
They bill him at 7'4", I believe.
7'4". He's a big man.
He's huge.
And at the time, he weighed probably around 450 pounds.
Yeah.
He was a monster.
Yeah, he was a huge, lumbering dude.
Versus Rey Mysterio, who was about 5'5"? 7?
If even. He might be like 5'3".
5'3"?
Yeah.
And like 180 pounds?
Yeah. He's like if I wrestled, but was in amazing shape and could flip.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about this pay-per-view. Remember I was talking to you about this pay-per-view and how you kind of sensed that it was kind of a mediocre pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should know that right as this match is about to start, I noticed a sign in the crowd that says, Big Show loves Cher.
Okay.
My point is, not just the pay-per-view sucked. The crowd wasn't exactly bringing their A-grade game either. Okay.
I feel like that's too much of a non sequitur to have come out of nowhere, but no, I'm pretty sure that came out of nowhere. I don't think he mentioned Cher ever.
Oh, no, did not.
No.
Okay. Throughout the match, Rey Mysterio used his quickness against the Big Show's size. Now I'm throwing the paper.
Okay.
Against his size advantage, including performing 2 619s on the Big Show.
Yes.
Okay. Which is Rey Mysterio's finishing move, normally leading to pinfall.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this match came about, by the way, because Vince visualized Rey doing all the big man, little man spots.
Oh, yeah.
Bumping for the Big Show. And not caring at all about the damage that it does to expose Rey Mysterio like this.
Yeah. His whole thing, like, if you're going to have big man, little man match, the little man has to really outperform the big man because you expect the big man to win. You want to see the underdog succeed.
Well, guess what?
The point.
Well, guess what?
I can guess.
After two,
because I know where this is going.
After 2 619 attempts, or 2 619s on the Big Show.
Yes.
Let's see here. There was a third attempt.
Okay.
And then he attempted Rey Mysterio attempted a West Coast pop off the top rope springboard,
like a jumping butt smashy thing. Yes.
But Big Show countered the move with a choke slam for the pin.
Okay.
At one point during the match, Rey even tried to use an equalizer by smashing Big Show with a chair behind the ref's back.
Yeah.
Okay. So ultimately, we see Rey Mysterio get 3 619s, landed on the Big Show or attempted to bring him down. but he no-sells all of it,
Yeah.
right? So basically acts like nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
Chokeslams Ray to finish him off at a whopping 3 minutes and 45 seconds, drawing no reaction from the crowd. No reaction for the crowd from the crowd for the win. Now, you've killed Rey Mysterio's finisher,
Yep.
made him look like a jobber,
Yep.
annoyed the fans with regards to a guy who's supposed to be challenging for the title next month. Ray does a stretcher job that no one buys, and then the Big Show reappears and infamously smashes a prone, strapped to the backboard Rey Mysterio into the ring post like he was a baseball bat, and then terrifyingly drops him on his head, nearly killing him in the process and breaking his neck. I still can't believe that there are people who are paid to sit around and think of stuff like this and go, you know what? This is a great idea. We should do all of this.
If I can, Sean O'Hare you and put a devil's advocate on your corner.
Oh, gosh.
On your corner, on your shoulder. I feel like the visual of Big Show swinging him like a bat on the board, theoretically, in your brain, on paper, that sounds great. But then when you do it to an actual human being, and you can't get strapped in so well that you're not going to slide.
He has no way to do anything.
Yeah, you can't protect yourself. It was so dangerous, and then also, of course, there's no justification for flushing him down the toilet. If you don't want to see your little guys have a chance against the big guys, don't make that match.
Right.
There's no reason. I'm not a huge fan of the divisions, having a cruiserweight division and a heavyweight division, because I like seeing the different dynamics.
Yes.
But at the same time,
make me believe what I'm watching.
Yeah, if you're going to mix it up, you've got to make it make sense.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is this: I don't put any of this on the Big Show, like the whole swinging him to the thing and dropping him. He's a good guy apparently. The Big Show. Yeah. But the thing is, he should have taken into consideration, if nothing else, that Ray was tight strapped to this backboard.
Yeah.
Right. Could not protect himself. So after you smack him, right?
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if he took him, and what I'm doing with my hands, if you're watching on the radio, is kind of holding them and then kind of discarding the board, but making sure that you set the board down.
Right, that the board goes down board first.
Right,
and
as opposed to slapping the board against the pole and then just letting go of it, and he now crashes headfirst onto the ground.
Yeah.
That's dangerous and reckless and foolish.
Yes.
So, I know that I've been doing a lot of yammering, and I promise you guys, by the way, next week's episode will be, a
bit tighter.
Yep. Well, that's it. And you know what? Just like the show right before this, that preempted this, the shows we watched with Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Our first show, we were kind of, you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You get your feet wet a little bit, dip your toes in the water,
Yes.
but then, and you know what? We'll continue to evolve.
Yes.
But I'm feeling good about this.
Funny thing, I'm having a great time.
Great.
But you talking about how we don't have a whole lot of time is wasting more time. Let's keep going.
All right. Well, let's keep going.
Yes.
Backstage. Finally,
Yes.
the backstage drama ends with Scott Steiner
Oh God, no.
yet again saving Stacy from Test. Who in their right mind would consider Scott Steiner, who openly brags about his sexual escapades as a part of his pre-match spiel, to be a better choice of boyfriend than Test? Did anyone stop and does anyone stop and consider these the characters these people are playing before they write this crap?
Unless they met Test, who does seem to be a despicable human being, at least in character. But yeah, that is, how bad does Test have to be?
That's who's gonna save her.
Unless that's the point where he is such a scumbag that somehow Scott Steiner is your knight in shining
It's slightly
armor?
less of a scumbag.
Yeah, like he's the good guy. Ugh.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? He's 2/3. All right,
Oh, let's not go into Steiner match.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay, the sixth match. This is the penultimate match.
Okay.
The sixth match. Oh no, that's not true.
Oh no.
There are 3 matches left for me to burn through here.
All right.
Here's where the getting gets good.
Okay.
The sixth match was for the WWE Championship
Yes.
between John Cena
Yes.
and the reigning champion. Oh wait, the reigning, defending
Ooh.
Brock Lesnar.
Nice.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was wrong. Go ahead.
Spoiler alert. Cole and Taz are losing their minds with excitement throughout this entire match.
Yeah.
But no one, not myself, not anyone in the crowd, no one
Yeah.
is feeling those feelings.
Really?
No one.
I remember this era with a rose-colored tint, and I think like Brock Lesnar, who still does moves and isn't just a suplex machine, and John Cena on his way up, with all of the was he Thugonomics yet? He wasn't quite yet, right? Was he?
Oh, he was still doing. Yeah.
Oh, he made it there already. Okay. Because he was like at this point he would have been with the company less than a year.
No, because he
forgot
cut a
that
week.
that he got in there that quickly.
He cut what people from the hood would call a weak promo.
Was it whack?
Yes.
Oh no.
By the way, because I'm feeling like a boss tonight, and I'll
you-
take heat for it later, which is a wrestling term.
Yes.
We're gonna go a little bit over tonight.
Okay. Watch
Just a
out
little
though. Battery power.
Hey, battery low? We low? How we doing there, phone? 10%. We're gonna rush this best we can. You know what I'm gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do.
You want to take a music break and plug that thing in?
No, you know what? I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to say that I don't think I have a way to do that right now.
Oh no.
So here's what I can do. I'm going to tell everyone
Yes.
right now, because I don't want you guys to get cut off, that I really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight for this show.
Yes.
Jesse and I will make time, even though it'll be duplicated for those, it'll be duplicated to a degree. Jesse and I will make time to record a follow-up video to post on Facebook for the rest of this show. Okay? And we'll post that up for you guys right after this show it goes off the air. We'll take more than a couple of minutes. Okay?
I could also start doing a redundant video and then just toss that boy up there. I don't know how well we can prop the thing.
I don't know, but you know what? In the meantime, I guess we're gonna try and get another video up here. So if you want to pull your Facebook up on your phone.
Whoa.
So I'm going to end this video for everybody watching. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty. I got to get my charger to reach here. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning into this particular video, the first episode of Then, Now, Whenever. And we're going to try and come right back in just a second and continue the video. So you're going to have to switch to a new video if you want to keep watching.
Okay. How does this affect those listening on WLVU?
They just heard us explaining what we're going to do for the video.
Cool.
All right.
All
So
right.
cutting off this video, thank you guys. And we're going to come right back with another video. Hey guys, welcome back.
Yep.
If you're tuning in, and sorry about that. What up, Kathy?
Can you hear us, Kathy? Please let us know.
Oh yeah, she can hear us. Hey, what's up, girl? I'm Catherine. I gotta get that girl's number. Hey, if you're Catherine Matt Krentz and you're into hosts on the side of the screen that I'm on, just go ahead and why don't you slip into my DMs and send me your number? We're engaged.
That's it.
All right, so thank you guys for sticking with us here. I appreciate it, and we're gonna jump right back into some Backlash stuff.
My wife is here.
My wife is here.
I like her.
Extended first episode, and since it doesn't matter what I say because it's our show, my show.
Yeah.
We did scrap this together kind of quickly.
Yeah.
So trust me when I tell you that I don't expect every episode to be just rambling through stuff.
Oh no. I've had a ton of fun.
I hope so.
I've enjoyed reacting.
First time, right? You know, first episode. What did you say?
What?
Oh, you enjoy reacting. Good.
I enjoy, just getting to. I enjoy being on the submissive side of it. I'm looking forward to also Dom. So.
You thought I was hitting on your husband? If I was gonna. All right, Jesse.
You're very warm.
There we go. And we're back. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in or sticking with us on WLVU Lehigh Valley Underground Radio. And for those who joined our new video that we had to get started because my battery was dying on Facebook, facebook.com/then now whenever. And if you're tuning in on video right now, you can see that I have decided to move, and now I am sitting on Jesse's lap because his wife thought I was hitting on him when I was actually flirting with my fiance.
Two things. One, there's no need for my hand to be here, but it's staying here. And the second thing is I don't want to get to read your notes, so could you sit back in the chair?
Whatever, you just... If you're not interested, just say so. Anyway, no. So, for those tuning in, we are talking Backlash 2003. And as I was saying before we came back on the air on WLVU, not every episode is going to be me just rattling on a whole bunch of stuff about a pay-per-view. I thought that we were going to debut the show next week. Jesse thought that because of miscommunication on my part that we were debuting this week, so we said, you know what? We'll figure it out.
That is also big time a lack of follow-up on my part.
But
we're making it happen.
we have Clicky Von Wheeler,
Yep.
who will be choosing a topic in just a few minutes
Oh.
for next week.
You know, I didn't even remember that was going to happen.
Yeah. So let's move on. Okay, so now we're talking about the championship match. Before we went to break,
Yes.
between champion Brock Lesnar defending against John Cena,
Yes.
who at this point is less than a year into his main roster career.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, as I said, Michael Cole and Taz, the commentators, are losing their minds. Just like, everything is like, oh my god, unbelievable.
Yep.
And I'm just like, no, it's really not.
This is far back enough that if I'm remembering correctly, you could still see him. But Chain Gang was the clip.
Ah, I get it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he had the thing where he couldn't...
He has a gimmick where he says you can't see me and he waves his hand in front of his face.
Yeah.
So,
What is that even...
I don't
What's
know.
that supposed to...
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Here's this match for you. Ready?
Okay.
Lesnar gains the early advantage
All right.
over John Cena by performing a suplex and hitting Cena's head on the broadcast table.
Cool.
Eventually, Cena hits the chin lock on Brock Lesnar. As I stop to ask this question,
Yes.
why is it that a match like Hogan versus Vince McMahon,
Yes.
right, with two guys who don't need the heat or the help, are given multiple ref bumps, table breaking, ladders, Roddy Piper, in every effort to make it into just a crazy match or a shit match, match by hook or by crook, and entertain the fans. But then two guys like Brock and Cena, who need to get over at this point in their career by any means necessary, in order to ensure the survival of the company at this point,
Yeah.
are left out here to die with a dull main event style match worked by two guys who aren't ready to carry a main event on their own. You know? Like,
You said the magic words there. If they're wrestling a main event style match of that time, that explains why it's so boring. When Brock Lesnar was able to fight the Guerreros and the Benoits of the world, the Kurt Angles, when you can wrestle the more amateur style, when you can kind of get deep into it, when that's the main event style, that guy shines. And
that's where he's most comfortable.
Yeah. John Cena was definitely not at a point where he could carry a match of like stone cold beatdowns and just you're brawling. You can have good matches like that. I don't want to see these two guys have that match. Not then, not now, not ever.
Aha!
I tied in the thing.
So moving on, Cena retaliated as he threw Lesnar into the steel steps. Okay. Lesnar then delivered a spine buster to John Cena, regaining control of the match. After a spear from Lesnar, which sent Cena into the ring corner, John Cena attempted to push Lesnar into the referee to no avail. But, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, give them something,
Yeah.
right? The distraction, however, allows John Cena to hit a low blow on Lesnar. Cena attempted to hit Lesnar with his steel chain, though the referee confiscated the chain before he could use it. The situation allowed Lesnar to hit the F5, which is Brock Lesnar's signature finishing move,
Yes.
on John Cena to retain his title. Looking back, in my opinion, throwing them out there for 15 minutes was potential career suicide for their characters and for them as pro wrestlers at the time. And it totally exposed that neither of these guys were ready for that spot. Even an 8-minute match would have been fine, or throwing in like Chris Benoit to make it a triple threat match so that they could both learn from him would have helped. But the match, such as it was, had no real storyline to it, no psychology for the fans to follow, and the finish was, in one word, anticlimactic.
For a second, I thought the one word was on the other the side of that paper, and I was like, "Wow, that's bad planning."
No,
That would be funny though.
So that's that match.
Yes.
And then,
that sounds like a real dog's breakfast, and that it does not follow for me. Like it feels like that should be a much better match, and I'm sad, man.
well, if you were sad,
Oh no.
you got 2 matches left. All right.
We're in a world where Brock Lesnar versus John Cena doesn't main event a pay-per-view. How is it going to get worse? That feels like there is like
think about where we are
dissonance
now,
there. Yeah.
and try to process that Brock Lesnar and John Cena for the championship is a mid-card match.
Yeah. That is something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, the featured and final match on the main card before we hit our main event.
Yeah.
Okay. Was a 6-man tag team match because Teddy Long was with the company. He had nothing to do with this one.
Okay.
But this match was do you have any guesses who might have been involved? Do you remember who was involved in this match?
No, I don't quite know where this is going just yet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Since we're not playing games, I'm going to let you guess wrestlers until you miss a wrestler. Like, until you guess somebody that's not in this match.
Can you give me one person that I can extrapolate from?
I don't want to give too many...
If
I give you somebody... Well, there are a couple of guys that are tied together in a way here, like in different ways. I'll give you a guy who's not necessarily tied to any of them, but see if that helps you remember the era.
Yeah.
Booker T was in this match.
Okay. It's... If I'm being honest... I was kind of thinking about Brock Lesnar and John Cena having bad matches, and I wasn't listening to your whole talk up. So I'm like, wait, was this Raw or SmackDown?
Both.
Is this okay?
Like they were both on the pay-per-view. Raw.
No, I just mean this match.
This match, I believe, was Raw.
Raw,
Definitely Raw.
Booker T, it would be. Yeah. I think 2003 is pre-Batista.
Oh my gosh! I just realized.
Oh, what
why Booker T is on the team he's on. Okay,
now I gotta...
You're gonna love this.
Is Jericho still with the company? Is he in this match?
Jericho is on the in the match. He is not on Booker T's team.
Okay. Triple H hasn't shown up yet, but is this when he was out with the injury yet, or no? Or
he came back in January.
This is right when he came back.
No, he came back.
Yeah. Oh no, I think you're right. I think it was the beginning of the prior year.
He came back in January of 2002. So this is a full year
plus. Later. So he's no longer super beefy, but he's also not having.
So he's healthy.
Yeah.
And available.
To
be guessed.
Yep.
Are you guessing him?
I was guessing him.
Triple H is on Chris Jericho's team.
Okay.
Along with their partner. Is it all men? Oh, yes.
Okay.
This is a 6-man tag team match.
6-man, okay. I'm just going to give up because I hate dead air.
Ric Flair.
Okay.
Booker T. So it's the team of Chris Jericho,
yes.
Triple H, and Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Versus the team of Booker T, Shawn Michaels, and Kevin Nash, the NWO group?
Oh, God. No. No.
Because don't you remember the next night on Raw, Shawn Michaels, they have a meeting in the ring, and he's like, and out of nowhere, by the way, and Randy Orton wasn't even a thing, but out of nowhere, Shawn Michaels super kicks Booker T out of the NWO.
Yes. I'm just remembering that those... Shawn Michaels in the NWO never sat right with me.
I can't laugh. I know.
It just seems
so weird.
It seems like the lamest thing. He had his own supergroup in the WWE or WWF at the time. He is the face of DX. It'd be like Triple H being in the NWO. Yep. It doesn't work. Keep them separated.
Yep.
Once you start splitting those things,
So here we go.
Yes.
Let's get into this match, huh?
Okay.
All right. There we go. By the way, here's how we're gonna set the table.
Wait a second. Triple H is the good guy here, and Ric Flair is the good guy here. Wait, Chris Jericho is the good guy here.
I don't know.
Or are the NWO good? No, they can't be. Kevin Nash is there. I am so confused.
You know what we're gonna do, Jesse? Seriously, we should, if you can, let's make time one night this weekend or one day. Come on, let's hang out.
Yep.
Let's watch that match.
Yeah.
Okay.
just to answer some questions. I gotta know now.
Okay, here we go.
Oh God.
So here's how this whole bit starts for me.
Okay.
The total non-reaction.
Yeah.
to Nash's entrance is both sad for someone making as much money as he does,
Yeah.
and funny as hell for the same reason.
Yes.
All the excuses that apply to everyone else squashed by Triple H over the past year, can't work, isn't over, gets hurt too often, applies to Nash in spades. And yet, he shot to the top again of WWE with his buddy, despite no justifiable reason to do so.
He's a name, man.
And that,
He's
my
a name.
friends,
Yeah.
is WCW Logic. Speaking of WCW Logic,
Okay, let's go.
Coach and Lawler stop and talk about the Click as though fans at large know what they're talking about. And then Coach notes that it was a long time ago and now they're enemies. But since they've never crossed paths in WWE canon, then logically, you'd either have to conclude that they're still friends behind the scenes going by what those people who know about the Click would know today, or else they were never friends to begin with going by what those people who don't read the internet would know.
Why even give the information that they were friends?
Exactly!
Just to be like, they were totally friends. Now they're not, though.
Yeah, you can't bring a storyline point known by only 0.5% of the viewing audience in, and then act like it's a big deal when Triple H turns on Nash and expect it to somehow draw money.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that happened to Vince Russo with many of the same people, oddly enough. And
Not odd. It makes sense. Makes perfect
and
sense.
it's crazy thinking.
Yeah.
Nash starts with Triple H, but they both tag out shortly thereafter to Michaels and Jericho without even making contact, which fits Nash's usual work rate.
Yes. I guess they were building tension so that you'd want to see them
Yeah.
smash wieners later or whatever these guys are going to do.
There we go. By the way, again, big thanks to everybody. Oh, Kathy wants to watch too. You're welcome to join in. I want to thank everybody, by the way, tuning in either on Facebook for this extended version of the debut episode of Then, Now, Whenever, a show where we talk about pro wrestling in general, but we mostly will be talking about WWE for the time John Cena debuted with the company on, because it's all just a mess.
Yes, the whenever era.
Yep.
Yes. I will say I'm having a blast. We will be better next time.
Oh, for sure.
This is a bit of a mess, but
it is.
I'm loving it. I'm having a great time.
You know, it's a hot mess because we're hot.
That's right. And mess.
All right.
We are also mess.
Hot tag.
I tried to make that soft to not be annoying to hear at home.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You know what I've got here? Kathy didn't know why I wanted to use it, but I'm going to use it. This is glass breaking.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
Okay. As Nash wrestled Jericho, Booker T performed the scissor kick on Flair.
Wait a second. Is Stone Cold here? Is that what? Was it?
Oh,
I was wrong.
Yeah. What?
Is it what?
What?
I think I've heard.
What?
I'm pretty sure that means that.
What?
I think that.
What?
Means that, I think that guy.
What?
I think.
What? Okay.
Okay. I think we've done this enough. It wasn't good to begin with. Let's go.
As Nash wrestled Jericho, Booker T performed the scissor kick on Flair, which went into Nash and Triple H brawling at ringside, Jericho and Booker T brawling at ringside, and Flair and Michaels wrestling in the ring. As Flair and Michaels wrestled, Flair was able to lock in the figure 4 leg lock, while Jericho illegally entered the match and performed a lion salt on Michaels,
Yes.
who was locked in the hold. I remember seeing that spot, and it was cool at the time as a fan.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Lion salts are cool.
Nash, who continued to brawl with Triple H at ringside, noticed the turn of events and entered the ring. Oh, he decided not to powerbomb Triple H through the announcer's table.
Oh, that's so nice of him. It's almost as though they're still friends backstage.
Yeah, instead...
It's weird.
Yeah, no. Instead, he decided to enter the ring where he delivered a jackknife powerbomb on Jericho and threw Flair into the referee. So now, the referee is bumped in a contrived spot that takes 10 minutes to set up, by the way.
Oh no.
And Nash, I skipped a lot of crap.
Yeah.
Nash powerbombs Jericho,
think
but falls victim to Triple H's trusty sledgehammer
Yep.
and gets pinned after a easy breezy 17 minutes and 52 seconds.
I bet it flew by like it was only half an hour.
I'm not sure how this was supposed to build up the eventual title match between Nash and Triple H, since, Triple H just pinned the challenger, but they should have just continued with this glorious, storytelling in the match. what I could describe only as nonsense,
Yeah.
and followed it up by booking a hairbrush on a pole match between the two of them.
Oh, because there's glorious manes.
Yes.
That is, if there's one thing I can give to Kevin Nash, it's that he had very pretty hair.
Big sexy.
Yeah.
So, hashtag joke for 1 minute, he says.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
And now, it's time
Yeah.
for our main event.
Let's do it.
Who is in the main event?
Who is left? Well, we haven't had the world title yet, right?
No, we have.
What?
It was really exciting, don't you remember?
No.
Triple H has it.
Wait.
He's in a 6-man tag.
Oh, that's right, because they were building toward the thing. Then why? Why?
The main event's not a title match.
No, it's not a title match.
And although we are running behind our time, I do want to give you just a little bit after this,
Yeah.
sort of the fallout from this.
Yeah. And you said Shawn Michaels was in the prior match, so it's not God. God's not fighting in this pay-per-view, or no showing this pay-per-view more appropriately.
This is a debut WWE match.
Oh, who would he have fought though? I'm assuming it's
Not God.
Goldberg, because I know he showed up
In the main event,
in 2003.
Goldberg faced The Rock.
Oh, I forgot about that guy.
Interesting note. Oh, by the way, leading up to this match
Yeah.
was all the great bits with the Hurricane.
Oh, that's I know. I don't know much, but I know that Hollywood Rock is the best.
Oh, it was the. Oh, you don't know much of that?
No, I don't know much like of what's going on here. Like, you know,
Oh, right.
but like
But Hollywood Rock. Oh, best Rock.
I remember that. Like, yeah, I was not a fan of The Rock in his heyday because I was watching a bit more on the WCW side there, and of course ECW was my joy.
Right.
But
Hollywood Rock was awesome.
yeah, like that was much in the same way that I wasn't supposed to like Evil Alliance Stone Cold Steve Austin, but that was the version of him that connected with me. Hollywood Rock was the first time I'm like, oh no, this guy's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is all good. Let me ask you something for Mindy. Was this where he went? Was that like within the last few months before this? I'm gonna say yes because he was talking to the NWO, so
Yes,
it has to be.
it is.
But yeah, just to
That happened.
I just want to pop my wife.
Well, that happened
as they
right
say
before
in
they had their match.
Yeah.
No Way Out. 2002, I think it was.
I think you're right. Yeah.
That was the promo leading up to it.
Yes.
Anyway,
Hashtag joke for one, by the way.
I wanted to say that recently, because we're talking about Hollywood Rock,
Yeah.
recently I asked Kathy after the Royal Rumble appearance by the Hurricane
Yeah.
to sit and patiently. She watched all of the Rock and Hurricane bits. That is still to this day some of my favorite moments in WWE.
Yeah, I don't remember it clearly. I can think of the potential,
It was so amazing.
and it makes me happy.
It was absolutely amazing. So,
Yeah.
okay, let's get
Yes.
into the main event.
Yes, let's do.
Interesting note.
Yes.
Again, telltaling you how well done this pay-per-view was.
Yeah.
During the opening package for the pay-per-view and leading up to this match,
Yes.
they used the numbers from Goldberg's WCW winning streak to hype the match,
Mm-hmm.
but never actually acknowledged that streak at all,
Okay.
or really use any of his past
Okay.
from WCW
Yeah.
on Raw leading up to the pay-per-view.
Right. That sounds about right. That's
Also,
classic double E.
Also, here's an idea. Since this is WWE and we do things WWE way,
Yep.
how about if we're going to bring in Goldberg
Yeah.
and make this big deal?
Mm-hmm.
Let's make the same mistake that WCW realized they made in 1999.
Did they have them wrestle a long match that exposed him as terrible?
We're not there yet.
Okay, sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
How about we change Goldberg's iconic music to something that sounds like it's off the original Terminator soundtrack instead? So, essentially, they just paid a guy millions of dollars based off of the stardom in WCW that he had,
Yes.
but we don't want him to be associated with any of that.
Yeah. Why?
Cool.
You don't want to build off of history from the losers.
Yeah.
Like that would be silly.
Yeah.
You don't talk about how big the NWO was in WCW. You talk about the Click being a thing.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
if that's the brilliant
logic that they're going to use
Yeah.
and reasoning? You know what I say to that?
What's that?
I look at the camera to Kathy and say, okay. Anyway, so before the match starts,
This was a callback to the show he did just before.
I was actually gonna reference that.
Okay.
On the previous show tonight, from 8 to 9 every Thursday, we do the shows we watch, and that's a TV show reference.
Yes.
All right. So, before the match starts, we see Goldberg clearly ignoring Jim Ross's exhortations over the years that, quote, "this ain't ballet," as we see him standing in the corner doing leg stretches to warm up.
You know what? I see what you're saying, but you don't want to pull a hammy. We all know what happened to Kevin Nash when he didn't stretch properly.
We also don't want concussions, but Goldberg always hit his head off a locker.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
The Rock here.
Actually, you know what? Back then we didn't care about concussions. Who cares? Who cares? What's the worst that could happen? What is the actual worst thing that could happen? Let's move on. Let's pretend nothing bad ever happened.
Right,
ever.
nothing.
Yes.
So, leading up to this whole thing, Goldberg comes in, crowd's hot for him.
Oh,
in the Raw when he debuted, Rock is a huge heel right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
Rock is the clear crowd favorite because he's just a more entertaining personality.
This is very true.
No surprise.
Yeah.
They stall for what feels like forever.
Okay.
Finally, the time comes for the lockup of death. Goldberg wins the lockup of death.
Oh my.
Rock expectedly sells big time.
Yeah.
The Rock and Goldberg lock up again.
You're talking with so much emotion that I can picture it in my mind.
After a second failed attempt
I'm so bored
by The
right
Rock, yeah,
now. Yeah, go ahead.
he proceeds to slide out of the ring and taunt Goldberg at ringside to avoid wrestling him.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah. This is all, so far, things actually sound pretty good.
A bunch of stalling, by the way.
Yep,
Um,
never mind.
Remember how WCW was at least smart enough to limit Goldberg's matches to 5 minutes?
Yeah, you just want him to hit his big moves and win, so you can move on.
Okay,
Otherwise, you end up with Roman Reigns.
Okay, well, we are several minutes into this match.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock eventually re-enters the ring, only for Goldberg to perform a rock bottom on him to gain the early advantage. That's right. Goldberg's first move in a WWE match was a rock bottom. The Rock sells it forever.
Well, that's his move, yeah.
Goldberg went for the spear, but The Rock dodged it, resulting in Goldberg hitting the ring post.
Okay.
The Rock took advantage, yada yada yada. He takes advantage of the situation and locks Goldberg in what we're going to call the Scorpion King Deathlock.
Oh, I love that reference.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
I was a big fan of that back in the day.
Thank you.
Yes.
The Scorpion King Deathlock. Thus, making superhuman Goldberg look even weaker, which I don't get.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Goldberg broke the hold by grabbing the ring ropes. Jerry Lawler said he took like the cheater way out of that. Which, he's right. He did. He should have powered out. He's Goldberg.
I feel like it is some real garbage to call a rope break cheating or like say that is a cowardly way out. That is perfectly legitimate. If you can get there,
It is.
that's good. But there is no way that Goldberg shouldn't have been able to just
Power out. He's Goldberg.
push out.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Like, that's the whole thing. He has so much explosive power. Yep. Yeah, I'm grabbing the rope.
So now we're several minutes more into the match.
Yeah.
And The Rock attempted a rock bottom on Goldberg. Then Goldberg spears him. Move number 2, by the way.
Yes.
That's only the second move Goldberg's hit several minutes into this.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Goldberg hits the comeback. We get move number 3, which is a spine buster. Goldberg then no-sells a couple of clotheslines, which, for those who don't know, no-selling is when you get hit by a move and you forget that you were supposed to look that you were like you were hit by a move.
It's, I don't want to pull back the curtain too much, but wrestling is actually more of a choreographed dance.
Yes.
They're not actually punching each other in the face and falling down because it hurts so bad they can't stand anymore. You want to make things look better than they actually are.
Unless you're hardcore Holly. Then you're punching people in the face.
Yeah, but there's exceptions to every rule. But yeah, like Goldberg is such a tough, bad mofo that apparently he doesn't feel any pain or the impact of physics, and he can just keep going.
Yep. Remember how Goldberg was supposed to be the face in all this?
Yeah.
And I said, Rock was over with the crowd because personality.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Goldberg no selling a couple of clotheslines.
Yep.
Rock's able to perform a spine buster.
Mm-hmm.
Kips up, which is a babyface thing to do,
Oh yeah.
and subsequently makes Goldberg look like a chump after kip up.
Yeah.
Rock bottom,
Okay.
2 count, and I've got to say,
Yeah.
I do love The Rock, but this seems sort of manipulative on
Okay.
his part, that he was seemingly trying to almost kill off Goldberg out at the shoot. But what do I know? I'm a mark.
Oh, you really are.
Goldberg climbs him to cut off the.
Me as well.
Goldberg
That's what I
clotheslines him to cut off the spit punch that Rock does,
Uh huh.
drawing huge boos from the crowd now.
Yes. Now you would think that at some point they would do what they did with Rock Hogan and realize like, oh wait, they're actually cheering for the bad guy. Let's swap roles. Let's do that turn for this match. I do. Then again, I don't see Goldberg having the capacity to think in the match whatsoever.
Well, Goldberg clotheslines him to cut off the spit punch, drawing boos.
Mm-hmm.
But Rock hits him with a people's elbow for a 2 count.
Yeah.
This spot is now begging, and I have that in caps here,
Yes.
begging for Goldberg to pop up and hit that spear.
Yeah.
Instead,
Okay.
both guys crawl around the ring
Mm-hmm.
as the match drags on.
Yeah.
Then Goldberg manages to hit a spear. The crowd totally turns on Goldberg now
Oh no.
and starts chanting "Goldberg sucks"
No.
in his first match.
And this is a guy who has never been unpopular. It seems impossible to make people hate Goldberg.
And somehow
yet-
they did.
The magic.
The Rock slowly climbs to his feet, gets speared again, then move number 4.
Okay.
The Rock is hit with the jackhammer.
Yes.
The match ends after 13 minutes and 4 seconds. Goldberg did 4 moves
Mhm.
in 13 minutes, and they hated him.
That's the thing is
So-
that is a Goldberg match. He hits 4 moves and wins. Usually it doesn't take 13 minutes, so it works.
Well, that's it.
And you don't turn on the guy because it's actually exciting because the guy keeps parallel. He's a freight train.
That's it.
Goldberg was popular in WCW for a reason. He is a compelling character in that he's barely even human. He is a force. And there's something great about that. Oh my god, we are a half hour
Well,
over.
yeah, and so
Jesus
as
Christ.
we start to wrap up here a little bit,
Yeah,
I just want to say you could have the last note I had on this
Yeah.
was that you could have argued that the only way that this could have been any worse.
Yeah.
What's the number one thing that could have made this match worse? If
Pain?
The Rock goes over.
Oh yeah.
The only thing that could have made this match worse was if The Rock had gone over, and for a minute there, I couldn't remember how it ended,
Yeah.
and I was actually thinking that they might do that too.
Yes.
That match totally exposed Goldberg as a crappy worker with a limited moveset who's out there for the paycheck and nothing more. And not that that's a huge shock at the time,
Yeah.
but you can forget him carrying the company over the summer at that point.
Right. Their mistake was thinking that he should work in the WWE main event style. Like, he shouldn't wrestle like everyone else. He's Goldberg. Much in the same way that, as much as I hate Brock Lesnar, champion who's never there, our current champion of the universe, I do feel like they have done a great service to him by not making him just another wrestler. Brock Lesnar is meant to be a beast. He is meant to not wrestle like everybody else. If you get no match with Brock Lesnar, you're trying to survive. What can you possibly do to beat him? Very few people have figured it out. It's compelling.
Yes.
Goldberg, for the longest time in WCW. How could you beat him? Nobody's figured it out. It's compelling. And immediately Goldberg is just another guy. In WCW, he was amazing. Here, he might as well have been Booker T.
Well, and you know what? I had
No offense to Booker T.
No,
Booker
and I
T's
agree
great.
with you. I had a lot of notes to go over, but I'm not going to worry about them right now. But I will tell you this:
Yeah.
the one thing that they could have done
Yeah.
to make this somewhat better
Okay.
was the next night.
Mhm.
The Rock comes out right?
Yeah.
Cuts a promo, saying how, Goldberg got lucky,
Yeah.
whatever. And then Goldberg destroys him.
Good.
That's what they should have done.
Oh.
Instead,
I thought it was
The
what
Rock
happened.
is super over,
Yeah.
and he leaves to focus on his acting career and filmed Walking Tall and co-produced, other movies as well. After The Rock left, Goldberg begins feuding with Jericho, and you know what I mean. It's just like, and
Yeah.
it was interesting that year.
Yeah.
Pay-per-views,
Mhm.
the main events featured, I think, all of them except for 2
Okay.
or 3
Yeah.
featured either individually or combinations of Triple H, Goldberg, or The Undertaker. Every single main event.
Yeah. That is kind of painful. They,
And Kevin Nash
Yeah.
was in several.
no.
Oh yeah, it was dumb.
Yeah, 2003, man.
So it was
Forgot that was a cesspool. And yet you also have SmackDown doing amazing stuff.
Yes.
That's right. Oh, yeah. It's coming back to me just how big the split was at the beginning of the brand split, where, like, wherever Triple H was, which was Raw, because he refused to go to SmackDown,
Yes.
if you remember, it was just, like, death. It was death. And then SmackDown, just like Paul Heyman was doing the writing, and he just, here's a couple of guys who can never have a bad match. Let's put them together in all kinds of combinations. Occasionally throw somebody else in there until they get good enough that they can go off and do their own thing. Boom, 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 boom. Everything's great.
Yeah.
And on Raw, you have Scott Steiner and Kevin Nash and Triple H and Goldberg. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and Kane.
And
It's gotta be Kane. Yeah.
That's gotta be Kane.
Every time.
Anyway,
Oh, we got to do the wheel.
listen.
It's amazing. I was so concentrating on what I was saying. I didn't even notice this guy popping up here.
Yeah. So listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the debut episode of Then, Now, Whenever. Next week we will tighten things up a bit and have a little bit more format. It was great to be able to sit here though and just talk wrestling with you, Jesse.
Yes.
I know we get to hang out, semi regularly, but it's fun to have a platform.
Yes.
And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this project. I want to thank all listeners that did stick with us. On WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio, we really appreciate it. It means a lot. I know we went over our time, so thanks for not booting us off. And then again, everybody watching on Facebook Live, and those who watch this video back later on, we are now going to have some fun here with Clicky Von Wheeler.
Yep.
Our for those on the radio, you can go and look up these videos, facebook.com/thenNowWhenever,
Yep.
and we have a
And I
prize
will-
wheel
Okay.
that we are going to be spinning here in just a moment to decide next week's hidden topic.
Yes. If I can do
Please.
some plugs. I have created a Twitter account for this. It is also at then now whatever or whenever.
J-Mac, you're going to be tweeting for us?
Somewhat.
You should.
My tweeting style tends to be forget about it until Thursday and then tweet 1,000 times on Thursday to make sure that you remember that we're here. I will try to be more consistent with that, but no guarantees.
Okay.
And then we have the Facebook page where we have the live video.
Yep.
I do plan to either make a YouTube account or use my own personal YouTube account to
Let's make one.
Okay. To pretty this up, make it look nice, and then get it back so that there is a proper archive video that can be found in a place where people go to watch videos.
And of course, we're going to podcast. at some
Yes.
point.
Yes, and yeah, that seems like it should be easy. Let's find out. We'll see if that's easy.
Jesse,
Let's do the
it
wheel.
is time for Clicky Von Wheeler. For those listening, we'll go back to this real quick. The topics. Now, these are not exactly as they may seem or what you may think. These are sort of fun, kind of cutesy names to give you something to think about until the next episode.
Yeah.
The topics we have, and these will be replaced, by the way. We will take suggestions of storylines, characters, things you want us to talk about from post John Cena debut forward.
Yes.
We would love to put them up on the wheel and take your suggestions. But
Yeah.
I'll hold this up, and I know he said it's mirrored. I'm going to hold it up anyway and tell you what we have
This will
here.
look wonderful on the YouTube video. So
Yeah.
let's just do it.
3 count. Remember that thing. In your house. The Nexus. Showcase of the Immortals. Gimmuck. Best in the World. Runner-up.
Yeah.
And the Gold Standard. Jesse,
Yep.
it would be my honor to have you spin this wheel for the very first time.
Oh, I am
So-
looking forward to this.
So give it a good one.
All
Because-
right.
Here we go. So you want to set it up and just go for
spun the wheel.
Ready?
What do we get?
Best in the world runner-up.
All right. I am excited about that one.
I know you are, 'cause I know what this is going to be.
Yeah.
And you're pumped for it. So,
Yes.
tune
I am
in
pumped for it.
Tune in next week or at 9 o'clock East Coast on WLVU, Lehigh Valley Underground Radio. Tune in on Facebook, facebook.com/WLVU. Excuse me, facebook.com/then now whenever.
Yes.
And, join in on what I guess Kathy dubbed the Mac Attack.
Yeah.
Which is 2 hours of myself hanging out with the Macs.
Yes.
My wonderful fiance, Catherine Mack. Catherine Krentz.
Yes.
Catherine Krentz.
Catherine Krentz, but she was a Mac.
Yeah, she was Mac. And that will be for the shows we watch, where we talk about a different TV show every week. The first episode, and she goes over that with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, then, now, whenever, we
Yes.
talk lots of wrestling and geek stuff.
I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did, because we just talk about wrestling all the time, and it seems cruel to make somebody listen to it, but if you chose to be here, hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and you know what we should do? Come up with one of those clever outro things to go with. But we'll do that for next week.
I think I thought of one, and I was trying it out on my wife earlier, and it was terrible, so I'll tell you after the program.
Do it now. Anyway. All right.
All right, this has been Then Now Whenever. Eat a butt, butt eaters. I told
Have
you.
a good
I
night.
told you.
We'll see you next week, 9 o'clock on WLVU. Then, now, whenever.